Our world is dying. There is nothing to go back to.
So what was your reaction to seeing the trailer?
I was gobsmacked. I really, honestly, literally like, yeah, I feel like I'm gushing about my own performance, which is incredibly egotistical and weird. But I was gobsmacked. I thought it was fantastic.
And what can you tell us about your character?
I'm Duratan, and Duratan's the chieftain of the Frostwolf clan. And so he's the leader of that group of men. And the world we live in is dying. It's actually decrepit. It's perishing. And there's been a calling of all orcs to a common site. And we go there to find out if there's a new land. Gul'dan's claim there's a new land we could find, the more lush, living, roaming beasts. So the Frostwolves all travel there. And yeah.
You're playing an orc, which to most people that seems like a big monster or something, but he's the sympathetic heart of the film. So, but how, humans see him as a monster. How does he see humans?
I mean, he is a huge monster. There's no doubt. He just also has a wife and also has a child and also has a life that he has to go through, and that's the deal. It's fear is anger's an expression of fear, you know what I mean? All these things that we fear, it's just not being accepted. It's all those weird things. So what we have with Duratan is, can you see it from my point of view? And how he sees the human is, he knows Garona. He knows she's half human. So he trusts that they have emotions the same way. She feels, she understands, and that's the first time he's met her. He's never met her before. So yeah, when he meets her, he realizes there must be some link, and that's why Garona is the link between the two worlds.
And what sets him apart from other orcs like Black Hand or Gul'dan?
Well, I am a chieftain, so therefore I have to hold my temper a fair amount and come up with a fair and decent way to deal with problems. And I think the other boys, Gul'dan and Black Hand, they deal just with wrath, with the wrath of being an orc, the intimidation, that whole purpose. But my journey was different. That's all it was, just a different journey, different people, different orcs.
And what was it like doing the CGI? How do you put your physicality and get your performance through, knowing you're going to be this giant orc when it comes out on the actual movie?
Yeah, I mean that is all to do with your movement. That's all to do with your weight, the weight you carry in order to make these things move properly and honestly. So so something that's 6'7" and close to 500 pounds moves slightly differently from me. So we had to make ourselves very heavy. Believe we're walking through tar, through treacle, through syrup. Imagine how much heavier that was. You had a weight around your waist that you were dragging through that. It's that kind of weight. And then the next movement up to jog or to sprint, they're the extra difficult bits. But it's a fantastic tool for acting, because the tracking of your eyes, eyebrow movements, your small subtle nose flares, your decisions, they come across now. This technology is so fantastic. So.
Excellent. And there are other big fantasy franchises out there. There's Lord of the Rings, there's Game of Thrones. So what sets Warcraft apart from those?
Well, I think this is now going into motion capture, changing into being on locations and being in all this actual outdoor activity. So the capture they can get is so rich. It means you don't have to then repeat the performance in a studio. So I think exactly as you said before, the other orcs are all beasts and evil and bloody blah, but now we're going to tell a story about what if, no matter what side you chose, you had the ability to be understood. It's that.